up to them. If Rima and others are okay, then we can just proceed. Otherwise, we can close the stream and then have an informal interaction also. What about Rima and others, Jaya, Sangamitra? You wanted to have it on the stream, or you just close this and then go for informal interactions?
I think we started the stream to inform people about the possible postponement, right? So we can discuss it later on. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then formally again, for any one of us following the live stream on YouTube or Facebook, unfortunately, we are unable to proceed with the planned program for today. We will have the talk by on gender and socialization by Professor Manimekalai again, but it may be in a future date. Professor Manimekalai, do you want to say like what we might be covering in your talk, something like just 1 or 2 lines so people know why they would want to be interested in your session when we do it in the future?
Definitely. This gender and socialization, I'll be concentrating on the need for gender sensitivity, how this socialization process needs to be re-socialized, wherein the whole lot of institutions, the social institutions, which have a binding on this socialization, which again reinforce the stereotypes, need to be understood proper in the patriarchal context and in the intersectionality perspective also. And it is not just for women, men, it is equally applicable to others, including the non-conforming community, including transgender, LGBTQA, wherein there is still lack of, I cannot even say still, and there are a whole lot of, except the marginal group, others are yet to even understand and introduce to these social group, which are already very much marginalized. So how to integrate that in the socialization does include that also, because there is always given to understood that there are only binary division in the society, male and female, and accordingly you proceed disregarding the existence of other whole lot of groups. They are also equally to be treated, and they should be inclusive, but unfortunately the sensitivity is lacking. And so you have a whole lot of cultural, religious, social institutions which are reinforcing the kind of gender roles to be followed, and that often goes as what I should say, the gender binary, and we have to attack that in terms of how it is so deep rooted, and everybody got internalized to the value of this binary. And that binary also has its own implications on the gender role, where power plays an important, power remains as an important aspect, where a person who brings money and or does any work which has economic value are recognized better and valued better and visible, and accordingly gain power, and those who do not are really suffering. And so the whole lot of issue of unpaid work, care work, etc. Is one of the major flaw or defect in the system, which must also be discussed in detail in this socialization process. And so how every individual to be sensitive, to be rational, to be scientific in their understanding is really constrained and missing to understand whatever the worldly things that have already been defined by the patriarchy and also the capitalist system are to be understood proper, and everyone should turn rational, question the irrational expectations, behavior, attitude, and try to establish a kind of just society wherein and nobody will be excluded from the mainstream and everybody's needs will be recognized, and that will also be part of the policy. So I think these are the major concerns which I'll be talking on these gender socialization. And thanks to Delphina for change. I mean, insisting me to not to continue, because somehow I'm not able to talk much even for this 5 minutes. So thank you very much. Though I have made up my mind to continue, but the moment I started, I do not feel comfortable talking. So thanks to Delphina again, and other friends also, who also told that it is not compulsion. Thank you.
Not to worry, Professor Manimekalai. We understand your current situation. So we will, as we mentioned earlier, have this talk postponed for a future date, which we will announce in all the usual social media channels. So for any of us following us on YouTube or Facebook, you can continue to look out for our social media for announcements for the future talks. And for those of us who want to have the informal interaction on the platform, you can stay back. But otherwise, we will see you again soon.
Thank you very much.